Hey team! Happy Tuesday! Oh my gosh, I should be saying happy 2017. Can you guys believe that? Like really, I cannot believe that it is already 2017, to be completely honest. Before I get started, I'm just gonna check one little thing. Awesome. Cool beans. Okay. So, being 2017, being the start to a whole new year, whole new month, whole new beginning of the week, right? Did you notice that? Broke it down year, month, week, even day, right? First Tuesday of the year. I want to talk about goal setting. How to goal set. I'm not going to really get into total, what goals to be setting because we're all different, right? No one can tell you what you're capable of, and no one could justify what your goals should be. No one should say what your goals should be. You are your own person, and you get to create your own goals, your own dreams, your own desires, okay? Like the world is at your fingertips. Your life is at your fingertips. So what I want to really, talk to you guys about is kind of how to get started and how to really just take that first step, because it really all does start with a thought, right? Our thoughts, we do portray that as the truth. Whatever we think, to us, it's the truth. So I want to really start with that, because when we're thinking about, making goals and creating goals and those big, hairy, scary goals, what we're thinking, we could create that as a reality. So I want to go over 4 steps of, how to create goals, and then, give you a couple of examples, and then how to, create bigger goals versus smaller goals, and kind of reverse engineering things like that. So the start of the year is a big time to, really sit down and take a little bit to, think about, what do I want to achieve this year? I know it could be overwhelming. I'm not going to lie. I got a little overwhelmed at the beginning of the year myself, because I'm making a lot of big changes in my career path and in my life right now. And just being the start of the year, it was kind of just like, whoa. But then I had to bring myself back and be like, okay, like this is any other day, it truly, like, really take advantage of this time, but also just know, like, it's just any other day in our life. And it's just that excitement and that motivational factor, like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new year. So 4 steps with, goal setting is the first step. You have to be realistic with your goals. You can't create this goal that is totally out there that deep down, like, there's no way of achieving it. And that's fine. Like, they have to be realistic and they have to be achievable. So you have to be real with yourself. You can't say, if you're making $20,000 annually, you can't say, okay, my goal this year is to make $1 million, and you have no action plan. Unless you win the lottery or something like that. That's really not a realistic, achievable goal, to go from $20,000 to $1 million. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you also have to make goals that are achievable, to where, if you shoot for the moon and you land in the stars, like, you're still happy, right? So you can't make goals that are totally so far-fetched that you're going to disappoint yourself with, or that that, it's really not achievable. It's not realistic. Number 2, write them down. Commit to these on paper. I was listening to some personal development just on YouTube the other day about goal setting, and I don't remember the statistic 100%, but it was like a university of people were asked, like, how many people wrote down, their goals for the year, and it was like only 13% of people did. And 85% of people did not write their goals down. And only, breaking it down even farther, like how many people visualized them and how many people actually fulfilled them. Like, it was down to like only 2% of people actually wrote down their goals and visualized them every day. It was crazy, because our minds, they work with visualization. So with writing your goals down and committing to them on paper, it's going to force you to clarify what you want. You can't write something down and it not make sense to you. In our minds are floating, you could be thinking these craziest thoughts, and they might not really make sense unless you write them down. So it clarifies what you really want. Number two, it's going to motivate you to take action. Write your goals down and look at them every single day, every single morning. I know a couple girls who actually made a photo album of their goals. So they made kind of like a vision board, but it was a photo album, and they flipped through that photo album every single morning when they woke up. I thought that was awesome. It's also going to allow you to, filter through your opportunities. Like, you write down one goal, that might make you think of something else that you may not have thought of if you were just thinking about it, right? Our brains work like that. When we write something down, it like triggers sensory in our brain that when we visualize something, it actually stimulates those neurons to actually visualize and, think farther and broaden our horizons, right? So being able to enabling you to see will be able to do, and then that will bring progress. So number three is visualizing your results. So when we visualize our desired outcomes, we begin to actually see the possibility of achieving it. So when you're writing down your goals, you actually have to visualize yourself reaching them. Okay, so if your goal is to make or to help 5 people every single month, visualize yourself helping those 5 people every month, helping them get started on their journey, what their results will be, how they're going to affect your life, and how they're going to build that relationship with you in your life. Really visualize where you're going to be once you get that goal. If it's an income goal, financial goal, physical goal, visualize yourself when you're already there. Because when you visualize your desired outcome, you're going to see that possibility of actually achieving it. And that promotes positive thinking, which helps us stay on track and actually take action and be successful in the long run. Again, it's how our brains work. So did you know approximately 80% of our learning is from experience through visualization, through our visual channel. So 80% of everything that we learn and the action that we take, the implementation, is through visual things that we do. So think about that. So really, rather than just thinking in your head, which you might forget about tomorrow, I'm guilty of that, write it down and then visualize it. I'm not very artsy crafty, so I have a vision board, but it's just written out goals on pieces of scrap paper on the back of my door. That's my vision board. I don't get fancy, but I have a vision board that I look at. It's on the back of my door, so when I shut my bedroom door, it's right there. So number 4, hey bubs. Number 4 is to reward yourself for success. You can't, grind, and then get so burnt out to where, is that goal, was it even worth it? You have to reward yourself for the little successes that you make throughout the journey. So I'm going to get into large goals versus small goals, but reward yourself along the journey. If you write down goals and you actually are visualizing them and achieving them, reward yourself. Buy that favorite pair of shoes, or, really take that night out for yourself. Go get that massage, anything, whatever your love language is to yourself. Really just reward yourself with that. So again, those 4 steps are to be realistic with your goals, to write them down, to visualize your results, and to reward yourself for success. So to talk about kind of what goals to be setting, you do want to set large goals, like year goals, let's say, and then small goals. So your large goals for the year, that's 12 months long, right? So then your small goals could be for the month or for the week or for the day. It's also think about it as reverse engineering. So if your large goal is to leave your full-time career by the end of, December 31st, 2017, you have to reverse engineer that and bring back to, okay, what do I have to do monthly to reach that goal? What do I have to do weekly to reach that goal? Break it down. What do I have to do daily to reach that goal? And if you guys need help with that, reach out to me. I'm not the best at reverse engineering. I could crunch numbers and do things like that, but it's also going to be based on, the activity and what you're doing now, and when you have seen results, or when you have, consistently done things and actually gotten those results that you were looking for. That's your reverse engineering is going to have to come from that too. Bill, come here, bud. Okay, he doesn't want to. Someone's outside. But your large goals, they could be encompassing those smaller goals, or they could be completely different. But you have to be making those, by the end of the first quarter, I want to be making X amount of money. By the end of each month, I want to be helping, X amount of people. So if you break down that month goal to that quarter goal to that year goal to that end result goal, that's kind of where it helps with kind of breaking it down even smaller. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. He's kind of distracting me. But for example, for me, by the end of the first quarter of 2017, I want to be making $1,000 a month, $1,000 a week. So I know with my income right now, how many people I'm helping every single month on average, what my income is now. So I know that I'm going to have to help X amount of people. Say I'm making, I'm just going to throw an easy number out there. Say I'm making $200, no. Yeah, I'll say that. Say I'm making $200 a week right now, and I'm helping 5 people every single week. So, well, it doesn't help because I don't do that. Okay, this is more difficult than I thought it would. I actually have to write this stuff down. But if I'm helping, or if I'm making $200 a week, I know that I have to 5x that, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I have to do 5 times the amount of work than what I'm doing now to make $1,000 a week. So that's one of my quarter goals. So I have January, February, March, and I could break that down. So now I haven't done this yet. I'm giving myself all week. So I'm totally kind of rolling as I'm going here. But by the end of the quarter, $1,000 a week. So let's say by, the end of January, I want to double, the amount of people that I'm helping. And then by February, I want to quadruple that. And then by March, I want to reach that goal. So then I could break it down by week, by day, okay? So it's honestly, once you create your big goals, just break it down. What are those stepping stones for you to get there? You have to take action. That is like the secret sauce. Action and consistency with anything in this business, within goal setting, it's consistency and taking action, because those small daily actions done over a consistent amount of time will bring results. They will bring success. Okay? So consistency and action, if I could tell you anything about anything within this business, it's taking action consistently every single day. So with creating that vision board, okay, like taking that action and being consistent with it, something kind of just clicks in your head and you're like, I'm getting there. And that's where that positive thinking comes into play. And that's where that momentum is also going to come. So it's kind of just like that snowball effect to where you really just have to, get those wheels pumping and take that action consistently over time, and that well is going to freaking start to just really start pumping. I know I just used a car analogy and the wishing well analogy, but it's the same thing. It's that consistency built up over time, and those consistent actions done every single day over time will bring results. So the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is to surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with people that have, the same types of goals, or that have already reached these goals, because you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. The first time I read that, it was 6 Months to 6 Figures by Peter Voogd. The first time I read that, I was like, holy effing F. Because I knew, back in college or, this or that, I knew the types of people that I hung out with. And it's like, yeah, like, I understand I'm at where I'm at right now, because I'm not saying that they're not my friends, but the priorities, they weren't in line with where I was going in line to. It wasn't my vision. It wasn't my future where I was at right then. So you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. Think about that. But I hope that you guys honestly had the most wonderful New Year's, and I hope that this training gives you a little bit of insight. Again, I'm taking this whole week to write out my goals, and I'm not that detail oriented. I'll write out my goals, and then even throughout the months, I'll write little notes about, okay, I have to do this every day, or I have to do this, reach this every week, or just, these things that I know that I have to be doing to reach those goals. So if you guys have any questions, comment below. I hope that y'all had a good weekend and are having a good week. Excuse me. And yeah, please, if you guys have any questions too with like goal setting or kind of what I should be, pushing for this month, year, whatever, like reach out to me. I'm totally willing to help you through with whatever you have questions on, and we can go from there. So have a good night, guys. Take care.